Hello, my fellow marriage and family students. My name is Shalay Waits, and I would like to talk to you a little bit about doing an internship for the Marriage and Family Studies degree. So first of all, I just want to commend you on picking this major. I know everyone's biased towards their major, but really this is a wonderful, wonderful thing to study. So let me just pull up a presentation here. All right. So I did my internship with United Families International. And what United Families International is, it's a family advocacy group that works on a local and an international level to promote pro-family policies. So they have a 5-point mission statement, and I just briefly want to talk about that. 5-point mission is to strengthen and defend family as the foundational unit of society, to strengthen and defend marriage between a man and a woman, chastity before marriage and fidelity after marriage, life, including unborn children, parents and their right and obligation to love, protect, provide for, and teach their children, and religious liberty, or the right to live according to our religious convictions. And so these are the 5 main points that United Families International focuses on. And as I mentioned, they do this on a local level. There are many volunteers who work throughout the country, and they also do this on an international level. So some of the volunteers from United Families International get to go to the United Nations, and they work with delegates there to promote pro-family policies and to encourage them in their continued efforts to build the families of their nations. So it's really a wonderful, wonderful place to do an internship at and to have an experience there. So I found this internship online. I've included a link here for you. It's just through the BYUI website under Find an Internship. And when you log onto this page, you'll see a map, just like the one that you see here on the screen. And where the little blue and red pins are, that's where there's an internship available. And so it's really nice because the internships are categorized by geographic area. And so you can just click on where you live and find an internship near you. There's also a list of internships below this map on the website. It's a bunch of gray boxes, and it shows you again, where the internship is located, who the contact is, what the organization is. And I'm sure some of you right now are panicking because you're looking at your state and saying, oh my goodness, there's not an internship where I live. Don't worry, it's fine. There are online as well as on-site internships. I was the same way right before I started looking for an internship. My husband and I were getting ready to move halfway across the country, and we're now in Minnesota, and obviously there's no pin close to Minnesota, and so I was really worried. But United Families International is an online internship, and it's been really nice to work with them, and it's very flexible with wherever you're at. So that is another positive of working with UFI. Okay, so I had 3 main responsibilities that I got to do for United Families International. So the first responsibility was every week I got to write an article for a young adult blog called International Voice for Youth. And International Voice for Youth, or IV, is a branch of United Families International, and as I mentioned previously, it focuses specifically on young people and the issues that are important to them in relation to the family. And so each week I got to pick a topic that I felt like was relevant to young people today, and then I got to do research on it and find a variety of sources and news articles, and then I wrote up an article about why this issue was important and why why young people should care about it, and things that they could do in their own families, in their own communities, to promote pro-family policies. So that was probably one of my favorite things about this internship. I also had the opportunity to post news articles every week on the World Family News website. And so you can see I've included links for these two websites if you want to pause the video and go check them out. They're really worth it to go see what they're about a little bit more. But I got to post news articles every week. So every day I would read up on current events and look on a variety of news websites to see what policies were being passed in local and international governments in regards to families. I also got to read news stories about people who were promoting pro-family policies, and also read about studies that had been done in regards to parenting and how to take care of your kids, and the effects of things like same-sex marriage. And then every week I would make a list of the articles that I felt were most relevant and up to date, and I would post them on the World Family News website. So that was very good. It was very beneficial to keep up with everything that's going on in regards to families. And then my third main responsibility was to create memes for the United Families International social media pages. And that was kind of on a, as time permit basis. But that was a fun experience. It's something I had never done before. And so I got to learn a new skill. And it's beneficial. So these memes were, as I said, used on like a Facebook page or a Twitter or an Instagram. And they would have quotes or thoughts about promoting families, about promoting life, and so it was a really fun experience. Another responsibility that I had as an intern was every week I would meet with my supervisor, who at the time was Tori Black, and the other interns, and we would sit down and discuss our advocacy efforts that we had done during the week previous, and then we would also talk about just advocacy principles in general. So how to, one of the assignments we got to do was write a letter to our local representative about an issue in our city. And we also learned about how to write in a way that we could reach government officials or local branches of government, or like school boards and things like that, how we could write a concise one-page presentation on why the issue was important to us. And that was really beneficial and very practical, which is something that I appreciated. Okay, so there were a few things that I found I was able to contribute to United Families International. For one thing, I was reliable. And going through this internship, I realized that that is so important, to be reliable, because the actions of every single person in the whole group affected everything else everyone did. And so it was important to be reliable and to get my assignments and tasks done on time, or even before they were due. And with that, it was also important to be flexible. There were a few times when my supervisor would email me and say, hey, someone had a family emergency, would you mind filling in for them? And I said, okay, yeah, sure, I'll work it in my schedule. And I was able to help, and that actually led to me being offered a volunteer position after graduation to continue with United Families International for similar reasons. Someone had some family things come up, and so they asked me if I would be willing to continue to volunteer with them. And so just that flexibility is really important too. Another thing I was able to bring to the United Families International team was creativity. So I love art as a hobby, and I've taken a few art classes, and so I was able to apply that knowledge and those principles I had learned into the creation of the memes for the social media websites. And I did so in a way that the memes were engaging and visually appealing, so that people would stop a minute and read what we had to say. I also brought a passion for the work I absolutely love, and I came, ready to learn and just really wanting to help people, and that helped me to be able to learn and to understand the big vision of United Families International. And I was also able to bring a variety of other talents. So for one thing, I love to write, which was good because I did a lot of it in this internship. And so I was able to bring my talent of writing to help convey the important messages that we were trying to share as a group. As I mentioned, I was also able to use some art skills. And before I was a marriage and family studies major, I was a political science major. And so I was able to apply the principles that I had learned from studying political science to my advocacy work and knowing how the government works and how to best reach out to local officials and the different branches of government and people to talk to. So that was really fun. More so though, I feel that United Families International and my internship experience with them has helped me more than it helped them. For one thing, I learned how to put my passion for helping families into action. Through my time at BYU Idaho, I've learned many great principles and facts to help families, and I wanted to share it, but I wasn't quite sure how to go about doing that. And United Families International gave me the opportunity to learn how to do that in an effective and concise way. As I mentioned, I was able to apply the knowledge that I had, so it wasn't just sitting in my brain. I could actually, put it to good use, and that was really great. I also gained a lot more confidence in myself and in my ability to do advocacy work. Before getting this internship, I remember thinking, oh my goodness, people are going to expect me to be an expert, and that really worried me because I wasn't sure about if I had learned enough or if I was ready to do that and, have a conversation with someone. But working with the United Families International team really helped me to see that I don't have to know everything, that I can keep learning, but that I do know enough to, open my mouth and start typing and share these principles that will help to strengthen families. I also felt more courage to speak the truth. I've talked to many people, and a lot of them have expressed to me that the fear of being rejected or offending someone by speaking, about in favor of heterosexual marriage or of two genders. And doing this internship has really helped me to work on overcoming that fear. There have been articles I've written that have been very direct. I mean, they weren't derogatory to anyone or malicious in intent, but I was very direct in what I had to say because I knew that many people would be reading it, and I did not want people to misunderstand what I was saying. Something else that I gained from this internship experience was I learned a little bit more about humility. I received a lot of feedback from my supervisor on the articles that I wrote each week, and it got to the point where I started asking for assistance, which is something that I did not really want to do at the beginning of the internship experience, but I grew to see the importance of collaborating with other people and hearing their insights and their experiences and using their knowledge and expertise to build something even better. And I also, as I mentioned previously, I've learned that each member is so important to a team. I used to think of teams as a whole big group, and this internship experience has helped me to see that there are little pieces. Each of us is an individual and a small piece of a group, but each of us and the work that we do is so important and so vital to the whole team functioning properly. So that was a really, really important lesson as well. So there were many things that I have learned at BYU Idaho that I was able to apply to my internship experience. But I feel that the biggest one I was able to apply was charity. And charity is a huge part of being an effective family advocate. And I think in all of my classes that I've taken at BYU Idaho, whether it be on campus or online, charity is always emphasized. And this semester, I also took a child and family advocacy class, and we really emphasized how charity helps us to be an effective family advocate. And I just wanted to highlight 3 points I learned about charity and advocacy. So first, it's important for us to remember that every single person is a child of God. And the second, we should refuse to personally attack those with whom we disagree, even if they attack us. We're not going to get anywhere if we're fighting each other. And then it's also important to look for things that we can agree on with other people and then focus on those similarities rather than focusing on the things that divide us. And so I was able to apply these principles, especially in my writing for International Voice for Youth. I remember at the beginning of the semester sitting down and making a personal goal to never demean anyone or ridicule them in my writing for United Families International. And I also try to focus my writing on promoting positive habits rather than trying to tear down negative ones. And as I wrote, I would think about the people who would be reading the article, whether they agreed with me or not. And I realized that I really did care about them, and I really wanted them to know what they could do to be happy and have a happy life and a happy family. And so I tried to make sure that the tones of my articles were direct and straightforward, but also very filled with love, and that the people who are reading my articles would know that I did want them to be happy because I cared about them. So would I recommend this internship? Absolutely, yes, without reservation. It's so wonderful. You get real world experience, like I said, on a local and an international level. It's wonderful. United Families International is also a well-established organization, and they've had many interns come through, and so they will get you started working right away, and will give you a variety of tasks to do, which was something I appreciated, that I had, main focuses, but that I was able to complete a variety of tasks within those focuses. The staff who works there, they are so kind. Everyone that I have associated with at United Families International was so willing to answer my questions and just help, and they really do care, and they're not intimidating. They're just wonderful people. And I, again, loved just the real world practical experience that I gained. That, there wasn't necessarily a lot of theory involved, and we could just go right to and know that we were making a difference right away. So here at the bottom of the screen, I have put some contact information for Laura Bunker. She is the new intern coordinator. And so I've included her email and her phone number right there for you if you want to pause and write that down. So again, I just want to congratulate you on your decision to pursue this major. It really is so rewarding and so wonderful, and there are so many people you can help. So I really hope that you join the United Families International team. It's a great experience, but I wish you luck in the rest of your schooling, and hope to maybe see you at United Families National.